Oh, you all, hello. It is Tease. Good day. Good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. I hope all are safe. So I'm gonna try to make this video as quickly as possible, and then I'm gonna try to make it without getting worked up, because for some reason, men of all people, and I guess in this case we can talk about quote unquote black men, because there's different genres of men, and then there's different categories of men. You have the men that mean you well, and the men that means you harm. The men that throw stones and hide their hands, and then the men that's just out in the open, that'll let you know what they're gonna do with you when the lights go out. So to rewind to the religious men, you have religious men who hide behind the cloth. Let's say, for instance, I'm saying, okay, go, God said, or Leviticus said, get your shit together, and the woman is supposed to shut the hell up and have her dinner ready by 5. Like, okay, but it's the acts that come behind religion. So the two main ones, and like I said, there's more religions, but I have to stay in my category, which will be Christianity. So that's literally the number one reason why I am non-religious, to the point where if I'm around people who are religious, to me I have to run for my life, because it's giving cult. And then I guess the two main ones that bothers me. Now mind you, there's more out there, but I have to keep this short and sweet. Christianity, and then the Hebrew Israelites. And again, it doesn't start or end there. That's just me, where I'm getting more upset about. So the Christians, of course, throw the stones, hide their hands, or stone you, and then play the victim as if they don't do the 12 times worse than what they just stoned you for. And then you have the Hebrew Israelites do the same thing. And mind you, they say, oh, we're not Christians. We don't do that. We believe in the nappy-headed Jesus, not the pink one. And I'm thinking, like, that doesn't mean that you're any less of a cult. They think just because they dress up in these nigger turtle suits or terrorize people on the side of the road telling them to get right, that makes them any different than the Christian. No, if you throw the stones and hide your hands, you're no different than the Christian. And the reason why I have a problem with collectively, because I feel like they're neck and neck with the Christians and the Hebrew Israelites, is they have it real bad with, like, let's say for instance I'm a thief and I'm pointing at Jamal or LaQuisha. Y'all stole from Walmart, or y'all the reason why Walmart got the security cams up, because y'all steal, y'all doing drive-bys and this and that. Now mind you, I left out the part that I'm a thief, but yet I'm gonna tell you about yourself. And then I got really upset about this online, because it was another video of those Hebrew Israelites on the side of the road terrorizing people, and a lady said something about it. She was pretty much saying, y'all here spewing this BS, and that was her opinion. To them, they're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a woman that won't shut up. And I'm thinking, like, and then you got the idiots in the comments. Oh, that's another Eve again. And I'm thinking, like, so when they see the black woman saying, hey, what you're doing is BS, because I'm gonna do the same thing. A few years ago, in California, I ran into the Hebrew Israelites, and I did go out of my way to stop and see what the fuss was about. And they was like, oh, well, the women don't dress right, and this and that. They were cool about it, but they still were kind of like, oh, why do you have on those pants, or why are your arms? It's kind of like they want things to be old-fashioned, but you're not old-fashioned. You see what I'm saying? You're just as modern as everyone else. And again, that's where that hypocriticalism comes in, because it's like, I want you to be on the straight and narrow. I want you to get a job. I want you to have dinner ready by 5. But then when it's like, okay, well, what are you doing? And then when the women say, okay, well, if I'm supposed to shut the hell up, keep my head down, and have dinner ready by 5, what are you doing to make that possible? And they're, oh, shut up, Eve. You're just a bitch that won't shut up, So the slap the woman and tell her to shut up. Like, no, those days are over with. I know they want that to come back, because I'm thinking that's one of the main reasons what brings the venom out in these men, is they don't have control of the woman. And all while saying they don't like the woman because she's out of order, she's this and that, she ain't shit. Okay, so if you exile the woman, where's the anger really coming from? Are you salty because she's not on the straight and narrow? Or are you salty because you're struggling with your sexuality? That's a huge elephant in the room. That's another reason, and another major issue that I had with these Hebrew Israelites. How are you trying to whip the women into shape when y'all are gay as shit? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about the ones that's openly. What about the ones that's hidden in the cracks of the closet? There's plenty more men, black men in particular, that are very down low. Now they can wear all the signs all they want, say hi, walk with a lisp, and talk with a lisp all they want, but they're not going to ever come out the closet. Doodle and all. This lady said she came her husband smelling like strong shit. And I know I'm not cleaning up any of my language tonight. Strong shit. And I guess he had to come clean because it was, those demons were, I mean, they got screwed out of him, obviously, to where he couldn't even hide it. Shit smell in the air, lips bulging, meaning you know what he was doing with them DSLs. It was one of those things where it's like that spirit took over him so bad where it started to come out through the ears. Like, again, if I'm a gay man, it's only so long that I can hide my wrists. And I'm thinking he was showing the signs that he had to come clean. Oh, yeah, yes, I just got my butt towed up by another man. And I'm thinking that's the problem. How the hell? Now, mind you, the men being the quote-unquote, and I'm saying quote-unquote because I don't know who lied and told y'all this, the men being the quote-unquote leaders or the quote-unquote kangs doing these atrocities, but yet you got time to take the focus off of yourself to say, okay, now I'm going to stop concentrating on these faggot-ass men and worry about the women that's out of control because they're, running out of options. I'm sure the women have a really good reason why they're effed up today. Could be single motherhood. Could be having that non-desirable, sorcery placed upon them. Like pretty much the message that, okay, nobody would want you if you're a certain age or if you have children or if you're quote unquote black. They put this certain messaging and sorcery in the woman's head, and it makes her become a new creature, if you will. So again, I'm sure the woman has a very good reason why she's effed up today. But again, if the men are so perfect and don't do no wrong and they're the leaders and the kangs, why are they so effed up? And then another thing too, why don't you ever want to hear or see yourself? Even those gentlemen, those, okay, I call them gentlemen just so I don't want to deliberately go looking for nicknames or names to call them. But the men that were on that podcast with Charleston White, the second he was saying what's wrong with the black man, they all, no, and then they had to eventually shut up. He's like, well, have you been to jail? Do you have bastard children? Are you gay? And then they had to shut up. And then they had to shut up. So it's like, they don't ever want to be on the hot seat. So it's like, when I do my dirt, you shut up and you do what I say. And that's another thing with one of those Hebrew Israelites. Didn't Christ say, do as I say, not as I do? I said, no, I don't know which one of you sorcerers, or whichever one of you entities who said that, but it's like there's more than one God out there, including Pink Jesus and the devil, him and herself. There's probably millions of gods that people worship. And I'm like, and you're doing it right now, worshiping that Ninja Turtle suit with the fringes, and then the symbolisms. Like I say, that's no different than Christianity. They use tools, they use the Bible, they spew lies, they spew curses. You're no different than the Christians. I think the only difference is they just swapped out the Pink Jesus for the Jesus with naps. That's the only difference. They still lie, kill, steal, and destroy. And they manipulate behind the cloth. They're not manipulating with their good works. I'm going to trick you guys with my fruit. No, I'm not going to trick you by turning water into wine with my eyes. No, I'm going to trick you with lies. And then with the Bible. I told him, I said, the Bible's also been tampered with too. There's many different kinds of Bibles. Oh, not the King James. The King James version was particularly edited with removed books and remixed words. I'm like, yes, it was. I didn't see it for myself because that's a real thing with that Ethiopian Bible. It'll tell you, like, okay, get right or get left. But then the King James is, get right only if God tell you. It's like they remix it a little bit. So it's kind of like the message that I'm getting is not the message that you're getting if you're getting the full truth. And then it's a huge contradiction with the Old Testament and the New Testament. One side says don't eat pork, the other one says, oh yeah, you can do that. So it sounds like one of those Christians scratched that part out and penciled in, yeah, enjoy pork. It's like they're just so hypocritical. They want to be left alone in their sins. And again, that's no different than a demon. Right now in this moment, demons want to be left alone. They want to roam free. And demons come in many shapes and forms. You'll think they just look like the blob. Some people think they look like the lizard people. You just don't know what you're dealing with. But that's right now, if you look at this energy right now in the world, the demons want to be set free and left alone. Meaning, don't worry about what I'm doing. Don't focus on me. Don't try to stop me. And that's the same with these Christians and these Hebrew Israelites. And mind you, I'm only saying those two just to name the top two that bothers the hell out of me. Okay, so that it doesn't start or end there. think of any religion. I'm sure they're guilty of this too. But I'm just saying, like, the main ones who want to get out there with their bullhorns, get out there terrorizing people. Hell, you don't even see a Christian, not Christian, but the Catholics doing that. Now, Catholics, they play a huge role in religion too, like as far as the sorcery in religion. But you don't really hear them out there recruiting. They do their dirt on the inside of the church, and they keep quiet. They do the quiet dirt, even though they do big atrocities. But they keep it. You're not going to tell them, go get right with the Lord, unless they're telling you to come bring your children to them, unless it's like a bird call. But they're not, you know what I'm saying? They don't run up and push up on people like Christians and the Hebrew Israelites. So I say they're neck and neck. They're no different. Same demon, different title. Literally, that's all it is. And you can say, not my religion. The religion is supposed to be AB. Yeah, but who's living up to it? That's what I'm saying. It sounds good on paper or sounds good on religion, but when it's time for you to exercise that, yeah, you're giving Christian. Okay, so, and again, so you have the men, like, okay, so quick to whip the women into shape. Oh, you woman, you're this, and that. You're this, and that. But it's like, what about, and I don't want to say, like, okay, don't tell me to get right. It's like me saying, oh, T, pay your bills. And I'm like, oh, well, what about Jeremy? He didn't pay his bills. It's not even that. It's not saying, why are you telling me to pay your bills and you're not telling Jeremy? It's one of those things, if you're literally in bankruptcy right now, it's like, that's what I'm looking at. Now, if you're known for not paying your bills, why are you telling me to pay my bills? And it's not even saying, make sure you pay your bills so you don't end up like me or end up evicted. No, it's make sure, because you're supposed to be doing right, not me. Like, they're back to that saying, do as I say, not as I do. So again, if you're a drunken, drinking in public, or let's say you're just known for being drunk and drinking in public, but yet you're slapping the beers out of the college students' hands who are at the bar having a good time. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's kind of like it's a contradictory, huge contradiction with the men. And the only reason why I wanted to make a video now, because Dr. Umar got on again. He's pretty much saying, okay, well, women, this is a warning to the women and a message to the women to use your discernment when you're choosing men, and leave loneliness and leave your needs and desires out of it when it's time to choose a man, because you got to really put on your glasses. And again, there's nothing wrong with telling a woman to put her glasses on when she's choosing men. But again, what I have a problem with, instead of telling the woman to choose better, who's going to cast these demons out of these men? Because a man knows, let's say if a woman is blind, he'll know to pretend like he's blind, or he'll know to pretend like he cares to get close to that woman so she can trust him, so he can manipulate her. You know, if you got a woman who is suffering from low stuff of self-esteem, or who just need a man, there's a man that will rub her shoulders or tickle her fancy to get her comfortable so he can get in close to manipulate her and take advantage of her. And then lo and behold, or should be the number one cardinal sin, when a man get around a woman with children. So you want to predatorize a woman and her children. And again, a man knows what to do to get next to that woman with those children. Not because he want her, he want to get next to the children. Once you woo mommy, then she's going to be stigmatized and blind to anything that you do to those children. I mean, unless she snaps, unless she's just not that type, that's just that dumb to have people or strange men around her children. And like I say, that's not very common to meet women to not have other weird ass men who they don't even know around their children. You see what I'm saying? But yet they'll blame the woman for being naive, and we'll just call her retarded for lack of a better word. Because in this rumor, they said, women are slow. That men themselves have said that, women are slow. You tell them you love them or buy them some flowers, sold. You see what I'm saying? So we'll just call them slow for lack of a better word. So you got women who are slow, and then you get these predatory men that come around to take advantage of these slow women. And then guess who gets the stones thrown at them? The women. Well, you should have known that he was a piece of shit. You should have known he was a registered sex offender. A man is not going to come out now unless you, like Dr. Umar said, unless you turn on your discernment. A man is not going to come forth and say, hello, Tease, I'm here to kill you. Oh, hold on, excuse me, let me rewind. I'm here to woo you, have sex with you, and then kill you. When do you end up, sign here when you're ready to start. They're not going to come forth and tell you exactly what they're up to, okay? Now with me, you don't have to tell me a thing. When I see you coming from a mile or coming right for me, when you blow through traffic coming right for me, I already know. Red flag. Because it's like target. You see your target? Target identified. Zoom in on target, and I can see your whole plan. Mind you, if I see you coming from afar, let's say like you're coming from the other end of the club, and I see you trying to lock eyes with me, target. Locked eyes with the target. Go get the target. And you come right for me, automatically red flag. That's what I'm getting. You think like, hi, my name is, get the fuck away from me. That's gonna be because now with me, and that's one thing I can say, oh, thank heavens for that. Now I can see somebody a mile away, and you ain't gotta say 2 words to me. Your spirit is gonna tell me what you're up to. Now, don't get me wrong, I might ignore the signs. I don't do that shit anymore, but in the past, I probably like, they'll be like, okay, my spidey senses is like, okay, yeah, this person is only looking for one thing. Now I might ignore that sign because maybe I'm only looking for one thing at the time. But I'm not gonna, well, basically what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna pretend like haven't had the signal like get away from this MF, and yet I ignore the signs, and then you're stuck in a predicament to where it's like, ooh, thank God for grace, if you will, because it seems like that's all you need is to be closed up with a man. Even the men, cause this is another reason too why I was like, when this one particular man called himself, and mind you, I had to get rid of him too. Oh, I just love you so bad, love you to the point where you acting crazy and acting stupid, and I'm thinking like, to me that's dangerous. Because you're emotional, not dangerous because, oh, you'll jump through a bomb for me, but no, just to protect me. No, it's the emotional part of me. Oh, I love you so much. Oh, when I act crazy and act dumb, to me that's not cute. If you're overly emotional or I love you to death, like, no, okay, that means there's nothing gonna tell you to snap and take me out if I'm not acting right, if you will. So I'm thinking like, no, to me that's a red flag. And come to find out, he was a red flag. Probably gay, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those things that you do have to use your discernment. Don't ignore any signs. I don't care if he said the instead of the, that's a red flag. Because when we think like, oh, it's no big deal, oh, everyone farts, or everyone says shut the hell up. Now I got my ways too. Now I wouldn't say wicked ways. Now I have my ways too where people are probably like, oh, why would you say that, or why would you do that? But like, okay, that's how I move. And that's why most of the time I have to move solo, because I know how I am. If I know I'm not for the people or not appetizing to people as far as who wants to be lied to, then I need to stay in my lane. Yeah, there's a lane that has to be stayed in. So again, what I've noticed with these men, and religious men, and even the Dr. Umars, and I'm thinking the reason why Dr. Umar didn't tell the men to get right, because he's one of those same men. Now, I don't think Dr. Umar will trick a woman as far as, pretending to love her, to be next to her. But he's kind of a womanizer too, because he'll tell you, oh, I'll butter your buns, and I want the Senate bun. Like, basically, you reference sex a whole lot. So I know you don't have just one sex partner. So it seems like you're a sex demon too. So he would be kind of predatory as well, Dr. Umar, because you didn't marry any of your baby's mothers, nor any of your girlfriends that you're screwing right now. So it's like, that's kind of predatory. You got 12 girlfriends and 12 baby mamas and 12 children. It's like, what are you doing out there? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, nobody wants to say, men, can y'all stop preying on these women and children? No, they'll tell the woman, be careful. And I'll tell them the same thing too. Be careful who you laying up with and protect your fucking children. I would tell them the same thing too, but at the same time, I say, your bitch ass better be armed to beat and zap these men off of you, to say the least. And then here's another thing too, before I shut up. I'm not a womanist. Now, some people could probably think, oh, you're a closeted feminist. I am not. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not team woman. I do want the best for the women, because at the end of the day, they have the children. You see what I'm saying? So the woman she gotta be responsible. Like, there is no room for error when it comes to the women. So again, I'm not a womanist, but if I can knock some sense in the women, I would be like, hey, lady, wake up and smell the roses. Put on your spidey senses. Put your glasses on and know your surroundings, to where you know who the hell is that? Who's sniffing around you? Why is he interested? Because that's another saying. A man is not sniffing around a woman for no fucking reason. What does he want? Does he want to take care of you? Does he want to kill you? Does he want to have sex with you? Does he want to kill you? What is he sniffing around? They said a man's always sniffing because he wants something. Even if it's, oh, I want to give you some flowers, or I want to kiss you, or I want to be all in your face, whatever it is. What does he want? So if he wants to woo you, or basically dickmatize you so he can get to those children, you need to open up your fucking eyes to see that before it happens. There are certain signs you have to know. You got to take a class for this to know if a man looks east, or if he scratches his balls just before saying hello, that means, oh, you're turning him on. You have to know the signs, and that means, that's why I say you can't let nothing slip through the cracks. If he says the instead of the, that might be a red flag. If he's looking at your tits the whole time, come on now, do the math, lady. Do the math. Now, some men can clean it up to where they'll keep their hands attended to, talk like this. Oh, you're just so beautiful. I just want to take care of you and just want to get to know you a little bit more. We could take things slow. And then the second he gets you to that point where you're comfortable, then he's going to flip on you. So like I say, And then again, with these men, with the religious ones, they'll say, oh, that bitch Eve, no, excuse me, that black bitch Eve set up the men, and so where they nickname the black women Eve now. As far as the Adam and Eve story, which is another form of cult-like, because you're believing in these fictitious characters who you never fucking met, but yet you got these men getting triggered when they see a black woman. Oh, that must be Eve. So you're ready to stone the black woman, but who's gonna stone these black men that dress up like black women, to say the fucking least, and it's out here sucking up all the dick? You see what I'm saying? So that's just a small portion of the problem that I have. But nobody condemns the men. And again, I don't know if that's because they feel like they're the rulers of the world. If they're the dominant party, the one with the strength to where, oh, I can harm myself and harm others, because men are a danger to men, and they're damn sure diabolic to women and children. And that's the truth. That's not me being a womanist. That's not me saying, oh, it's the men, ooh, while we're clutching our pearls. No. We all play our role. Let's just say we're all the biggest demons this side of hell, men, women, and child. And I always said that. I think the children are more dangerous than us all, just because they have no other options. I don't want to say that I'm in agreement with the youth, but I get it. Left for dead by your parents, can't count on these fake ass elders. Yes, I might turn the clip sideways too. So this had nothing to do, oh, it's the man and not the woman. Basically, what I'm saying is, since the man is the dominant creature, the one who has the ability to harm us all, they're doing it, is what I'm saying. They're doing it. So somebody need to tame these. Don't put the woman on a leash, put these men on a leash. Because again, even if the woman harms you, I'm sure she has a good reason for that too. Even if it is just for the money, or even if it is just to push you down the stairs to get you out of her hair, I'm sure there's a good reason for it. Now, men have no reason to be terrorizing the world. There's no good reason for it. If I'm the one with the gun and I'm doing drive-bys and school shootings, like there's no justification for that. There's not. So the men, for them to be the dominant strength and abusing it, there needs to be a meeting on that. These religious lovers, y'all need to be stoning these men, not the women. I'm sure the women have to. Again, the woman has a good reason to be the way that she is. Do the science. Don't slap her and tell her to shut up. Do the science. Ask questions and let's do the science. And I'm sure it's going to boil down to what some man did. Effed her up and left her with children. But yet she's up on the guillotine ready to be stoned. Again, who's going to stone these men for messing up these men, women, and children? You see what I'm saying? A man leaves a woman with her children for dead, and then guess what? It's the woman's fault. The reason why the children turns into YNs. Oh, that's the woman's fault. Well, where's the dad? Where's dad? I don't know. But that's the woman's fault. You see what I'm saying? Who's going to hold these faggot-ass men accountable? And the reason why I said faggot-ass men, because a lot of these men, they're struggling with their sexuality. They are. They're drowned in feminine energy. Ew, the whining. Now, I'm not saying like the man is not allowed to feel his feelings. I mean, this is a human body. Maybe we will get random feelings. Maybe we will get emotional, but I don't know, doing it out in open and then acting upon it. Ew, I'm upset. Ew, or ew, I'm about to kill my women and children. And then you got co-signers from these religious lovers, and they get co-signers from people like Dr. Umar. Now, he doesn't condone it, saying, oh, slap her until I have dinner ready by 5, but nobody's going to say, hey, what are y'all going to do with these predatory men? The men that just want to be able to do what they want to do and not be, you can't say nothing to them. That's dangerous. That's what, those are the people that need to be stoned, not the women. Because again, if all of it takes is a slap and then she's no good to nobody, okay, so that's easy. Let's get rid of the big problem, the hard problem. What are we going to do with these predatory ass men in and out of the closet that's tearing up the women and the children? What are we going to do about them? The reason why can't none of us go out for a glass of milk. What are you going to do with these predatory ass men? Religious lovers. Maybe this is a question to the Hebrew Israelites and the Christians. What do y'all plan on doing with those predators in y'all's camps? The predator men. And I'm sure y'all got everything figured out for the women. Oh, slap them or kill them and tell them to have dinner ready by 5. Okay, problem solved for the women. What are you going to do with these predator ass men?